Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are just about to go live with our next game. We should, as far as I'm aware, be getting into picks and bans very, very quickly. This is going to be N-Faculty versus eSuba, and it is the Gamescom LOL Challenge.
Yeah, and both sides very much kind of didn't really arrive to the earlier rounds. They both kind of showed little sparks of potential, but really didn't bring the full amount. We think N-Faculty kind of had a little bit of a slow start, but picks and bans coming out very, very quickly right there. Zera, Cassidy, and Alistair, Lee Sin, Jarvan, and Nidalee all banned out, and Maokai was left open, and he's immediately picked up.
Yeah, nothing too surprising there. We've seen the Maokai quite often, and it does speak to me that perhaps they have simply, having gone through the picks and bans so quickly, maybe under-prioritized something there. They are picking themselves, of course, a very strong bot lane in return, but there's still good options to face up against that.
Rumble.
I would not want to play Rumble against Maokai.
Well, in terms of team fighting, if you get a decent enough equalizer, you can, if you synchronize it up with a good another kind of AoE ultimate, then the Orianna is still available, that you can make it work.
The thing is, like, you can excuse any kind of terrible lane with, but if I get just the right AoE team fight, then we'll win.
Very, very true. But as I was talking about, the Orianna was left up. It's actually been a very prominent ban in these games. Was left up. They pick up the Lucian and Orianna. Two extremely safe and strong laners.
Yeah, very, very true there. They're picking themselves high priority picks, but they aren't necessarily building themselves the best composition necessarily. Not necessarily the most synergistic composition.
No, not quite. Well, we still have to see if they go for a Nami. Nami would work well with Lucian, so would a Thresh. But I imagine they'd want to go someone who can kind of set up a good Orianna Shockwave or clean up from a good Orianna Shockwave.
Yeah, that is a possibility. There's always a lot of, when there's unknown factors like this, there's also options, things like Yasuo top. I don't know how well that would do against Maokai. Probably not brilliantly. But maybe you know, things like that. I know Gamers 2, for instance, they love to run their Orianna Yasuo compositions. It gives you a very, very strong team fight. But it's only something in a very select few top laners champion pools.
I'm very excited right now for the pure reason that Kha'Zix was locked in for N-Faculty. Rengar was not banned.
It doesn't work in tournament draft anyway.
Does it not?
No, you cannot get the head of Kha'Zix.
That's disappointing.
So, yeah.
That is very disappointing. That's such a fun mini game, effectively.
I guess, yeah, it's you'll notice snowballs the game, but
it makes it like, you know, both teams just kind of panic. But nonetheless, Nami Kha'Zix picked up for N-Faculty. Kha'Zix, we've seen a bit more of him. Yanko's actually playing him pretty much at the moment for Roccat.
Yeah.
So it's very strong. Kind of, you have to build him in a certain way. But I quite like Kha'Zix. I like his mechanics, but not what he used to be.
No, he can never get to the same utterly absurd 100-0 assassin that he used to be able to get to, as he is. And you can't build him as like a super tank thanks to the damage reduction that he used to have as well. And you can't build him as the monstrous poke thing that he had when he was initially released that also had the really strong all-in. But what he does do now is kind of a mixture of all these things. He's a little bit slippery, thanks to his ult. He's got decent poke, especially in the mid-game when the base values of his W are just peaking, and he evolves that W first. And he has decent cleanup at the end of a fight, but he can't get to a point where he will jump between people at 50% health and take them down. Needs them down much more at 20, 30% health unless he's really fed.
Yeah. And I think now we did see the Vi and the Zyra locked in. Lula did play Zyra yesterday. We're still not 100% convinced by it, as in that you can punish it very, very hard, especially with a Kha'Zix as well. Being able to jump on top of the Zyra, get, you know, a lot of damage down, it's going to be hard for her.
Played it into Jarvan yesterday. Anything goes as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, we'll see if they can punish it a little more effectively than eSuba was punished for last time.
Yeah. Kog'Maw and Ziggs, though, picked up two exceptionally strong late-game champions, picked up for N-Faculty. Kog'Maw is kind of at a stage now where he has very good early game because he's got good range with his W. He's able to get, you know, no mana cost. He's also got very good kind of late game, and his mid game, when he gets those like a Triforce, isn't that bad. So he's kind of a very, very good, let alone he does have no escape. So it does make him very vulnerable if he gets caught out by CC. But in the end, he's still a very, very strong ADC.
Yeah, I mean, we are on the 4.13 as well,
Yes.
so this is before he gets his little nerfs in the next patch. He's very, very strong at every stage of the game, but in every stage of the game, he has exactly the same weakness in that he can be bursted out very, very easily. That applies in lane, it applies in mid-game areas, it applies in team fights, everything. At any point of the game, if you put your foot wrong, you will die. But that's why you see the most skilled players in Challenger and most of the LCS teams playing him, especially with coordinated compositions, to pick him. But in this case, they actually haven't got that much peel for him, and they're going to be going up against a very heavy amount of AoE CC. Could be a bit tricky for them to survive that. But it will, of course, have to get to him. They'll have to bring the ball to Cogmore in order to pull him in.
I think that I don't like Maokai against Lulu, or Lulu against Maokai, I should probably say. I think Maokai just is so much better at just kind of out-harassing and kind of sustaining a little bit. I think he's just a lot better at doing that. It can work. Obviously, Lulu has got a lot of harass in the early game, but she just... I don't feel like she brings a lot apart from utility in the late game. I think it's like, you know, against the Maokai, who would just be a super tank in the late game with the Kog'Maw, who's a hyper carry. I prefer that kind of, if you like, that kind of comboing rather than the Lucian and the Lulu. It works well, but I think Lulu's kind of seen her time and needs to kind of go back to support, maybe.
I don't think we're going to ever see her on support again unless they do some really serious reworks, honestly. But the reason eSuba has picked Lulu right now is because they've got that vibe, they've got the ball carrier, then they've got the follow-up from the Wild Growth, then they've actually got the follow-up from the Stranglethorns as well. They have so much crowd control that a team fight could go on for... You know, you could get hypothetically, you could get 5 or 6, maybe seconds, probably not that much, but 5-ish seconds, 4 or 5 seconds of constant CC across like an entire team. There's a lot of crowd control that they have going there, and that control should enable Lucian, who has very high damage output, but has to be very careful about his positioning normally, to dash in and out constantly and really do a lot to clean up. But initial initiation is sort of good, or that crowd control can end up being wasted. You have to be very careful not to do it all into a Maokai ult.
30 seconds until
As well as that, they have, and Faculty have got a great disengage in the tidal wave if they do see it coming in. As well as that, like the vibe ball delivery system is obviously you are going to get it on the person you want it to if you can get in range for the assault and battery. But we have seen quite a few times where the assault and battery will bring you quite far away from your team. Sometimes it's worked out. Other times we're thinking, my God, where are you going? And the Orianna ball has got a range. So if she goes out of range of that, they can end up screwing up a shockwave and ruining their entire team fight.
Yeah, it's because you're dependent on the other person to determine how far you're going to go. But in this case, and Faculty do have an advantage against that because it's a very single target backline diving style. Just a bit of damage. And with that, when you're against Ziggs specifically, you can't just rely on bursting out Cogmore in a late game team fight. Ziggs will kill your entire team. Not as quickly necessarily, but he's such a big threat, you cannot afford to ignore him and just focus all of everything in on that Cogmore. So, very, very careful. See if eSuba are able to catch both of them, which would imply a misposition from the Faculty if that happens. Long time off yet, though.
No. Interesting to see now where Kha'Zix brings his first gank as he power farm to 6. And we look for kind of a level 3 maybe in the top lane, or actually possibly in the bot lane again, with his Zyra. If he knows that the graphic roots are down, he could possibly have a nice little trade back there Suba. But again, with a Zyra, you're kind of against a Nami and a Kog'Maw, you're kind of expecting to win.
Yeah, that's true. Zyra is a very strong laner until the jungler appears, and then she's a very weak laner, simply because she's so susceptible. But Cogmore can be deceptively strong in lane sometimes, especially when you've got Nami for that Tidecrawler's Blessing, and you can take so much damage onto those auto attacks that when normally AD carries might trade, you know, one auto attack back off, Pokemon can throw down one, and because he's out trading you so heavily, you may be forced to back off. And he can just keep chasing you in, keep doing that. Do a lot of damage trading as a result very favorably. So, Cedrian right now is just going to keep going. And of course, at this stage of the game, sustain being very bad. Looking good.
A bit of mana being used up right now. Be very careful how he manages that, because if he needs a combo, he needs to make sure he has enough mana to do it. He's on just about half. He should be able to regen it up a little bit.
Right now, why is in the jungle fairly safely. She's going to want to farm her way up to level 6. It's a bit more adaptable, dependent. Cedric does a lot of damage. Very careful.
He needs to be so careful now, because now Mount has to use the remaining of his mana pool to try and heal him up, to try and keep us. But as we see there now, one grasping root from Zyra, and you know, Lucian is one of those ADCs that can really very quickly capitalize on one small mistake, dash in, get the double tap, get another combo off, another double tap, a lot of damage can be traded back.
Yeah, one root is all it really takes to kill Cedrian at this point. But he is, of course, saved by the fact that the root is a very slow projectile. It's unlikely to get caught out on alone. Trading back and forth in the mid lane as well. Level 6 will be before too long there. That should actually give them quite a good setup, I feel, for potential ganks in the mid lane. Because while it is a team fight combo that they picked it for, the Vi Orianna is a brutal lane gank too.
See now Maokai in the top lane. Lulu kind of hiding in this bush though. She's going to try to jump in onto him a little bit. She is out-sustaining him a little bit. He has gone through one of his pots. He probably will pop the next one. Oh no, we only used one of his pots there. That's got the Doran's ring as well. Didn't go Crystalline Flask for the sustain, but again, Vi and Kha'Zix going to meet each other in this top lane. And Kha'Zix knows that Vi's there because they saw her through that ward in the bush.
It'll be a very dangerous situation. Promberry is a very tempting target right now. Low mana, low health. He's procced his heal. Vi is going to back away. See everyone.
They might still think there though. Kha'Zix kind of sticking around the white. White isn't one you would naturally go for low levels. It's quite a strong camp. But I think he's just kind of making sure that Maokai was safe up in that top lane if he ever needed to run up. He is now level 6, so he's pretty safe. He is lacking mana.
Yeah, Kha'Zix does have a little edge over doing the white. It wasn't going to kill, and both of them knew it. But of course, it's isolated. Kha'Zix can actually clear it a little bit faster than almost any other camp. You just have to kill the little ones before doing it. Looks like they're going to sacrifice a bit of farm in the bot lane right now. In fact, they are aware that they're going to get pushed into tower, but they were running low on mana, they were running low on health. So they concluded this is just the best time that they're going to get to recall without being shoved up to their tower. Just be trading a couple of creeps lost to the tower, basically. Got it.
Nice.
Found it.
Found the ward. Good pink ward, actually. It's a nice place to put it, because it's somewhere it's very dangerous if you know, as an opposing jungler, to get there. Because even though it's only just on the river, you could be overextending yourself slightly, and it does take 5 hits to take out. So you need to be careful with that. But so you see now Bimbo 8 trying to zone out the Orianna. She will be given her blue buff. Whereby Vi, as Maokai finds himself a pink.
As time goes by, I think what we're seeing more and more with wards is people are using them less to detect other wards, less to detect invisibility, and just using them as permanent wards, but they just put them in places that are a little bit tricky or inconvenient or potentially dangerous to actually contest. So you do end up with fights spawning as a result of that, as people think, I can take this pink ward, and 5 seconds later, as they slowly auto-attack it to death, do end up getting caught. time. Cedrian once again doing a bit of damage, but it's nothing too serious, and both sides have got health pots still. Instant freeze by Zuba's bot.
I want to make a small point on worst ADC West item build. Equalizer first item. That is an interesting pickup. He does get a good bit of damage though. Try back. He doesn't get the culling quite angled correctly. He's going to try to turn on the Cedric, and he needs to be very, very careful. Here's the bubble. The worst ADC might be in trouble here. They're taking down of the Ignite. It might. No, he has to force the flash. Or not the flash, the heal, I should say. Very over-aggressive there, and kind of forcing the heal. Didn't force anything else except for the Ignite off in faculty. Let's be a little bit careful.
You're going for the all-in, going for the aggression and the damage. That made perfect sense. Blowing the culling, that was fine. The problem was he chased just a little bit too far and for too long, and he should probably actually use this opportunity to back. I know Cedrian is low, but Mantle still has a decent bit of mana, and he's also going to have his ult whilst the culling is down, so it's a timing window where they perhaps should have looked to recall.
Yep, do you see the bot lane now? Oh, there's a Stranglethorn actually. Here comes Kha'Zix. He knows there's no more CC. He's going to flash in. He's going to try to do it. There's a good ultimate there. Why did Worst ADC come back into that? They're going to get a kill onto Lucy and Worst ADC. They're going to be able to dodge the ultimate from the Nami ult, but it's not going to be enough. It's going to be a double kill. Kha'Zix with a perfect start. Very over-aggressive there under the tower.
Yeah, really. They expected to be able to burst out Cedrian, but the basic fact of the matter is they were not close enough. Cedrian was well aware of how low health he was on. Ended up basing them in, catching them out, getting the kill. So really nice stuff there for Cogmore, who is, yes, 10 CS behind, but just gave 2 kills over to Kha'Zix, who can really put that to good use. Builds a lot of damage items, which will make those ganks that little bit more fearsome.
We've seen a lot coming out from Gornagal. Vi just yet. He is level 6, so I will not be surprised to see the combo with... oh, there's a shockwave though in the mid lane. Distortion attack there. He's going to force the heal from Bimbo 8. Nice move there. Good cooldown kind of trade, if you like. Cooldown for shockwave, significantly less than that of heal. We go back to the farm game.
The farm game, the best game.
Farm Simulator 2015.
Oh boy. Did you see the Exalt used in mid lane to clear the wave? Getting himself a farm, preventing his opponent from destroying his farm at the tower. Towers are terrible. They don't like farm. They not like farm at all. They kill creeps. All them jerks.
There we go. Ghost one forced to flash away. Obvious, going to take a little bit of a harass though, but he is making good headway now. He's a little bit ahead now of Vi in the jungle. He's got about 10 CS more as well as those 2 kills, so he's actually very much ahead. No one going for any crazy dragons right now. Everyone's just trying to win their lane.
So right now, Kha'Zix should be looking to focus this bottom lane. Zyra actually arguably probably should have come earlier when Stranglethorn was down, but Zyra, Squishy, no escape, etc. Actually finding vulnerable, going to pass across some damage. But there's no flashes. Lucian only has that short dash. They've got good crowd control to set them up with the Nami tidal wave, with the E, with the Tidecaller's blessing. Cogmore has a ton of damage. If you can get down there, even get close to them, the upgraded missiles, he could potentially set up another kill. Right now, however, he is just chugging his way through the jungle and farming himself up a storm, but he's not like he's building a feral flare here. It's literally just some extra gold, and the bot lane will continue to be out-traded for now, even with that extra gold that they managed to get from those kills.
It's actually only Nami that they actually able to get the gold. Excuse me. She was the only one to get assists, so she technically was the only one to get gold. But here's Lulu and Gornagal. Lulu still has TP. This is a very smart move. They're knowing that Lulu did use TP to try and get down here. She will be able to defend that turret, so good rotation for the first dragon of the game.
Yeah, they're going to be catching them out basically here. Pants down. There was no response from End Faculty there, and eSuba End Faculty could not possibly respond to that situation. Kha'Zix was way too far away. Obviously, Maokai was top lane, but he could have teleported. they weren't expecting eSuba to just suddenly say, right, we're going to do this dragon now. But eSuba took advantage of the fact that Lulu had got that little bit of early pressure, a little bit more wave clear in that early game, and had pushed back Maokai, roamed down. Once that was already in place, Kha'Zix should have seen the Lulu roam, looked to join up with the team. But as it was, they lost out for nothing. And eSuba continued to get just a little tiny bit of an advantage here.
Yeah, that dragon definitely helped them even out and actually dragged them forward from the 2 kills they lost to in Faculty's Kha'Zix. As they look to try and push their advantage even more. Farm leads in the top lane, mid lane, and the AD carries. Not so much in the jungle though, but considering that Kha'Zix is very much ahead right now.
Still no ganks from Vi, no ulti used. It seems a bit strange. It's a very valuable cooldown. Use it. It'll come back.
Exactly. It will come back eventually. I'm thinking she might want to try and get a guaranteed kill. She's actually in the mid lane now. There's actually about 4 or 5 people around here. Lulu roaming down to try and get onto Maokai as well. They might just try all back off. Everyone just roaming into the jungle. It might be an invade for the blue buff. It's not quite up yet. I'm going to back away.
Oh, it seems to be what we do nowadays.
It's back to Season 2 meta. Farm, farm, farm.
Farm for 20 minutes. Big ulti cooldowns. Fight when ult's up. The CLG EU playbook.
How to win CLG EU.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, we do see a good bubble onto Lula. He's going to be taking a little bit of harass. Taking below half there. He needs to be careful. As you say, he is a very, very squishy plant. As Kha'Zix is roaming around here. Now, he found a ward. He's going to clear that one out. Fly is around the area as well, so she popped down a ward, I'm pretty sure she did. Going to look to try and clear that one out.
Lasted over 3 minutes. Probably worth it.
Yeah, not too bad. Her one's lasting quite a significant time longer, though. It's a good pink ward, as we said. No one really going to risk kind of going towards that bush anyway. You see now Prone Bear and Ghost 1 going toe-to-toe in this top lane. He has got his Rod of Ages, though, so he's pretty safe in terms of sustain.
Yeah, very hard to push out Maokai once he's got the Catalyst at all. And for now, at least, that percent health restoration is going to keep going. If he ever does get below half health, he might actually start struggling, since he needs to get in melee range to get that sustain, and Morella Nomicon pickup on Ghost 1 will enable him to cut that healing down, assuming Maokai ever gets that close to the minions. But with teleport as well, it's really, really hard to push him out. And the other thing that's causing this very passive play at the moment from both sides is that they're aware that neither of them has a particularly stronger late game. Yes, the side event faculty has a very, very strong, just a very, very strong bunch of characters for the late game, and they're pretty good at kiting as well. But the simple fact of the combo that eSuba has is going to mean their late game teamfights are phenomenally strong, and they also actually have some better duelists in the form of characters like Oriana and like Lucian. As compared to Zeke. Oriana is not in isolation.
Here we go. There's the tidal wave coming out there from Mountain. Very premature right there. That's a big cooldown that's not going to be available in case of any ganks, but here we go. Good flat. Oh, there's a little bit of a glitch. They do get the ultimate, though, onto Prone Bear. They're trying to go onto Bimbo 8. He does get a good satchel charge away. They're going to get the Glitter Lance off. That's going to be a kill over the Vi, but they're going to keep going. Maokai goes down as well. They might try chase onto Obvious. He's probably going to try to get away from this. Oh, it's a flash Q as well. They might try. He's going to jump over. Not quite, though. He's going to get polymorphed again. Stop.
Wait, what?
Whoa, they just stopped focusing.
Did they lose vision?
They lose. I'm not quite sure. They may get this. Here's the heal. They're trying to go into this on the bot lane. It won't go down. There it is. Zarya gets it with the Strangled Thorns. The culling comes out as well. It's a 2 kills out.
Nice.
It's a complete, clean ace right there. The Acanthian surprise really was surprised as Kha'Zix not only brought himself to safety, but also brought the entirety of eSuba. They're going to try rotate. Dragon is a minute away, though, so they're not going to be able to get that. In the end, 5 kills going in the way of eSuba, and all it stemmed from was a little bit of an overextension from Maokai.
Just an absolute vice grip at the end of that. Up against the tower, the Stranglethorns cut them off. They really took a ton of damage from worst AD carry West. He got good light slinger across, I think. Oh, sorry, not light slinger. Got a nice Q across 2 people at the very least, as well as finishing off Kha'Zix, who was already very, very low there. It was able to pick up that first kill. Then it was just a matter of juggling in and out. One person at a tower is not going to be able to survive against these enemy unless it's like 1 minute into the game. So really good stuff there from eSuba, and not any objectives, but 5 kills is a pretty significant amount of gold just straight up.
Yeah, nothing to be shied away from. So they start to get some vision control over this Dragon Pit. They have got the timer. It will be up now in 2 seconds. So it goes live, and Lulu's in the top lane. She hasn't got teleport now. This is a big thing right now. She's no teleport, but Maokai does. So that's going to be a problem for eSuba if they do end up going for with a 4v5 down the top.
A tight grip on the finals.
That's a fantastic shockwave right there. Obviously, taking more and more damage. He's going to have to back away. Honestly, that could just be the dragon right there, and then they really can't go in without the Kha'Zix having smite. I'm going to throw over a lot of words. Actually, here comes the TP. Lulu trying to come in as well. They do get a good stun onto Lola. She goes down. They're trying to get more and more onto this. Shockwave is still down from the previous fight. Dragon is still aggroed. He's going to back away. Obvious is so low, though. He needs to be so careful. He might run into Lulu. He needs to get away from this. Here comes Garnagal from the side. There it is. Lulu gets the kill on the Kha'Zix. They're trying to go on. There's Vi. Here comes where's ADC West. He gets a good light stinger. They're trying to jump onto Cedrian. There's a good one again. There's a double kill over to Lulu. Good glitter lance. They do trade that in the end. 3 for 2. They might get this dragon anyway. Both junglers are down. They need to be a bit careful now with how they do this. They should be able to claim this dragon.
They've got the vision advantage, but a single bomb is not going to be enough. So, and faculty there, they chose a really dodgy retreat path. They put themselves in a vice between Lulu and the rest of the team, and they were already very, very low from the kite out of eSuba as they poked backwards away from the good choice to fight in the first place.
Yes, but the fact that they knew that Zyra was dead and it was a 4v4, or 4v5 effectively, they should have sent Kha'Zix back to heal. He was so low. Even if he jumped in and stole it, he was going to die. Yes, you could claim that was worth it. They could disengage properly, but as you said, they got him in a vice where Lulu just came in from the side and was able to, as I said from before this, if she gets caught, she's kind of screwed. But here comes Lula. She jump onto the Stranglethorns as well. She's not going to be able to trade back that much damage though with Brombear. She might be actually be able to spade it out here. He won't have a splash on anything at all. Here comes the culling. Worst ADC West picking up another kill. He is 3-1 with 182 CS. He's getting scary.
Yeah, he's starting to clean up a lot of these fights, and it's really getting a lot of gold for him. They've got the dragons, they've got the kill advantages. Probably a good 1,500 gold, I'd say, on him now over his opposite number there. So very, very scary. He hasn't shopped yet, but he's also gone for a very early game spiking damage build. That's part of the reason for that Brutalizer. He's going for the Yomus, but Brutalizer as just a single item is probably the #1 flat damage choice you could actually make. Doesn't give you any utility stats, but more damage.
Yeah, it looks like he built a pickaxe as well, so he's just getting set up for his IE. He's got a little bit of armor shred with that Brutalizer. So we see a Triforce finished up onto Kog'Maw. More or less similar builds, actually nearly identical builds in the jungle between Kha'Zix and Vi, only a longsword that separates them. Mainly because Kha'Zix got those 2 early kills, but again, it's all about how they gank the bot lane. There's a little sapling. It's gonna reveal everybody. Again, the Zyra pickup, I still don't like it purely because she's going damage. We said this yesterday, kind of, I'm a support, I build a Sightstone. It's not the same. She's so squishy. Yes, she may have damage, yes, she may have burst, but if they catch onto her with a good Sapple Charge or a good Twisted Advance from Maokai, she's not going to kill Maokai, even if she does build full damage.
It's true, but the thing is, if Maokai dives in, usually he's going to want some follow-up from somebody else. It's going to take him a long time to kill Zyra, squishy as she may be, on his own. That means, of course, that Zyra can throw down all her skills, throw out her large amount of extremely high amount of damage for support, And if anyone is trying to dive in after, they're going to take a lot of damage, be CC'd, and potentially set up for a kill from everybody else. On this occasion, I don't have nearly as much of a problem with the Zyra as I did last game.
I just noticed that Lucian, or worse ADC West, had just upgraded his pickaxe into a Last Whisper. That's too early for me. There's no one really with armor, apart from Maokai's Glacial Shroud. There's no one really there who is going to be building armor at any time soon. I think he should be better off just going pure damage.
Yeah, I think you're probably right on that, although it does have the benefit of only taking the one item slot. Couldn't finish the IE and have to sell the one.
True. I think he would have been better to sell. Oh, he gets jumped on the white Maokai. He may be able to trade back a little bit of damage. Actually, he might be 100% right. Here comes the culling. He's not going to be able to get the full thing, though. He is taking tower aggro. Ended up trading that back very nicely. Didn't use the Ghost Blade active. Or not the Ghost Blade, sorry, the Blade of the Ruined King active. So we do now play the Vision game. Baron up in a minute 50.
So, can eSuba capitalize off the advantage they've got? They've got 6,000 gold ahead. That should translate into some very significant items. Lucian is hitting power spikes. Cogmore is not. Orianna, ton of items. Very, very dangerous. Got the Athenes, got the Rabadons. Big key items. They've got this really dangerous combo. They can dive very easily. They've got a Vi who is starting to get those little bit of extra tanky items and has a Lulu ultimate to keep her alive should she go under it. So right now, eSuba should be playing a game where they are looking for a dive, where they are looking to catch out a single player that isn't called Maokai, and then go for that dive on them, burst them out, and then maybe look to take a tower off that if they remain on enough health. At the moment, though, it feels very much like they're looking for picks outside of that situation, and in Faculty are playing it very, very safe, very, very slow. I don't think that's necessarily the best plan. They're doing the Baron bait, but I just don't think they're going to call it. That was an off.
That was a shockwave there onto Cedrion. Orianna kind of went in by himself. No one really was there to kind of capitalize. I suppose if Vi was there, they are going to force Cedrion back. But they may actually go for Baron right now. This is an exceptionally risky call because Kog'Maw can just keep showing out his ultimate. Kha'Zix can go in as well. I don't know if they're being baited. I think Nami's got a little bit of vision for them. They are trying to help her out, though. They may have just stalled it out long enough.
You need to keep an eye on what's going on at the pit itself, if you possibly can. Let's see if that can happen. Didn't actually start the Baron in the end.
Yeah.
They just stood very close to it so that Vi's face was covering Baron on the minimap. No go. Dragon started, should be free, but it actually looks like his Faculty are going to try and trade it. I'm not sure about this though. They're going to be very, very slow to clear this. They're going to take a ton of damage. And Lula, the Zyra ult, was so dangerous in the pit. Look, they're going to disengage. They have to.
Yeah, they had no Maokai. They actually might get shown up against here. Here comes the culling. Not really going to hit anybody, but they needed the Maokai there to try and continue that if they really wanted to. Kog'Maw trying to go in. They're actually completely out of position here. Here comes the Mega Inferno Bomb. They may just keep going onto this, though. They have got shields onto Gorngul. He's going to be able to tank that up. They will take out another turret. So that's Dragon and a turret for free damage from Baron. Very much a bad call from Faculty, and eSuba definitely taking advantage of it.
Yeah, they get another good bit of gold right there. Several thousand gold increase. Continue to lose nothing in return. So 4 for 9 as well on the kills. They're not doing their absolute utmost to clear things out, but they're not being forced to at the moment. And Faculty is just making calls that really just give eSuba opportunities to get out one good, losing a call to earth.
Yeah, they seem to be lacking a bit of direction. They kind of called the early Baron bait, went for it themselves, realized they couldn't do it without a tank, and Maokai was completely over the other end trying to stop Dragon. Then they got caught out and kind of went the wrong way, and it just doesn't seem to be going right for them right now. eSuba taking excellent advantage of all this. Oh, are they going to... This could be a really, really good catch out. They do... Cedrion, he feels something is up, but he's not going to be able to save himself. There it is. Going over to Lulu. Ghost One will be pretty happy about that. Nice bit of farm, though. Pretty good farm.
Emergency farming is an important skill as an AD carry who dies a lot.
Yes.
Not so much if you're playing well, though.
No, not so much. do see now Maokai should be able to pick up that tower. While he's doing that, will they go for the Baron? They have procced it. They might want to back away from this. No, they're not. They're going to keep going. Cedron is still down. Obvious is going to get taken a little bit off. He screws up his jump. That's going to be... Oh, the Nami ultimate did not get out on time. They get the ultimate onto Gornagal. This is going to be Baron for free. Maokai try to TP in. He can do a lot of damage. Shockwave is still available. They are going to go absolutely ham on him. He has nothing left, even with his ultimate running. They are still doing the Baron. He is still procced. This is still very, very dangerous, though. Kog'Maw is back. Kha'Zix is back. Or not back, he is up. They're going to be able to secure that. Good Baron call to get themselves a 9,500 gold lead.
I'm going to maintain that I don't think that was a particularly good call from eSuba, but it worked out for them. They should not have been able to take that Baron invisibly, since Kha'Zix's missiles do give you vision now, and he should have been very capable of waiting. They weren't going to clear it quickly. They might have been able to do it relatively safely, since they had two characters with big shields on them, but all Faculty you needed to do was poke around, slow them down, let Maokai keep pushing, and eventually TP in for the end, but instead they got caught. Two of them taking, one dying, one taking a lot of damage for his trouble in blowing his jump cooldown. So again, it's Faculty making decisions that I just don't understand. And eSuba continuing to capitalize. They've built themselves a very commanding lead.
Yeah, I really think they're lacking a bit of direction right now. They really don't know. They're trying to almost mirror what eSuba are doing to them, but it won't work. Like with the double shields that they have from Lulu and from Orianna, there was no way they were going to be able to, you know, bait a Baron realistically, or even do a quick one without taking that much damage. They also needed Maokai as well. Little mini wolves being stolen there, but again, there's going to be, look at the health shields though on Lucian. It's just crazy. He can tank this up himself. He doesn't even need a tank. He does it himself. They're going to be able to flank around as well. They need to be so careful here.
Yeah, that is one of the strengths when you do end up with Lulu and Orianna on your composition. You do that against isolated towers without the minion necessary push normally. It also keeps your AD carry alive in teamfights. It's generally a feature that's more used when you have Pokemon.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good bubble onto him there. That's a great shockwave though on the back line. He's going to use a wild growth though onto Lucian. Lucian being focused out here. He may get out of here. No, he won't. Nami died as well. Lucian went down. Obvious trying to go down as well. Orianna picks himself up a double kill. Here comes Vi. It's not going to be enough though. Minefield goes down. It's going to be able to anti-siege this though. Ziggs again, king of anti-siege. That's a 2 for 2. Jungler and support for AD carry and support. They're going to have to back away. Maybe push up this mid lane a little bit.
That was the Baron buff being used there, so it was a pretty good fight from Faculty, all things considered. But even so, they don't gain much ground from this. Cedrian gets to farm up. He's doing all right on that front, at least. But it's still going to be a while there. eSuba still take this tower as a constellation prize, and they walk away with even more gold than they walked in. So, and Faculty need more fights like that. There's no longer any inner towers to take down for eSuba, so at least that is a bright spot. But they have to be very careful not to make sure they don't get caught outside their base, and hence end up losing an inhibitor tower.
Yeah, the Dragon will be up now in just over 20 seconds. See how they go for this one now. Actually, Lula built a Locker of the Iron Solari, so going a little bit tankier than necessarily I expected. Have a look down through the build though on the side of eSuba. We do see a lot of AP damage now coming out from Lulu. She has got the Rabadon's Death Cop, Lichbane, Morello Nomicon, and the needlessly large rod, which I assume will be turned into a Zonya's. Whoa! Pops the Hex Drinker, forces him to use the ultimate. Solo Dragon. It's honestly looking very, very unlikely that Faculty can come back from this gold deficit.
Yeah, it's pretty grim right now. Pronbear wandering around through the jungle alone. Interesting choice that I didn't note at the time. He went for the mobility boot to try and get on top of the rotations that were going on. But he didn't get much done from that, and as a result, he and his team find themselves once again in a situation where they are being forced back against their towers. They're not getting much done. They just have to play the waiting game.
Yeah, a bit of a 1-3-1 split at the moment. Cedric taking a lot of damage from the culling there. Did you see the camera going a little bit crazy right now? They are starting to siege up this mid lane. Mega Inferno Bomb comes out. That's a little bit of a cooldown used. They do bait that out. Baron buff has worn off. Now, go for a 4-1. Lucian can kite and do as much of that. Look at the shields, though.
Got to engage.
They have to engage. And oh, no, he gets completely brought over now. Pronebear is by himself. Actually, good zoning there from Double A. They can actually jump onto Lula. Lula gets wild growed, though. They need to get Obvious out of there. Here comes the tidal wave. They are able to get that one as well. Cedric in the bot lane, but in the meantime, was dueling the worst ADC West. They did end up winning that trade, so he's going to be able to defend that bot turret. Honestly, with Baron up in less than 2 minutes, I imagine they'll push this wave once more back by and set up for Baron.
That'll be the plan from eSuba here, and that is going to be the crux point of this game, really. If Faculty can hold on, they may yet be able to pull themselves back in. Although this tower is actually really, really low. I didn't realize worst case carry managed that.
Yeah, oh my god, great shockwave there onto Mountain. It only catches him, though. They are trying to bump on the Bimbo. He's going to be able to get down, though. They do get the tower, though, in the end. They are not going to be able to chase, though. Good kiting available from Zyra. And all the times Lulu's been in this top lane. She may just push the mid lane. May just back away, heal up, buy up, get ready for Baron.
All right, blow the crux point. At this point, they don't need to go for the Baron. They have absolutely no need to do that at all. We've seen how strong they are at sieging towers that were actually had the ability to shoot back. Going for that bottom inhib, and then maybe if you're not having any luck with that map pressure, looking to go for the Baron after that is a much safer plan, and I'd much prefer them to see doing that. The bottom inhib should be theirs. I realistically do not see any way for Faculty to defend it unless they go for a desperation engage again, but I do not think eSuba will allow them to get a good desperation engage.
No, they've got so much good disengage from the Lulu Wild Growth, the Whimsy, or not the Whimsy, the Glitterlands and the Whimsy, I should say. You know, they've got a lot of dashes on their team and a lot of speed ups with the distortion, the, you know, help picks as well, help with the shields. They have so much ways of kind of getting out of there and making Pronebear completely overextend. Like, he got a, if it wasn't for some very efficient zoning from Ziggs there when he ended up going behind the wall just here, he could have been in a very sticky situation.
Yeah, it is true. But right now, eSuba going to two-man the Baron. Dead. It's flashy, I guess, but it works in this circumstance. Don't know whether they accounted for the possibility of there being a ward in the pit, and if Maokai teleported in there, they could have been really messy. So I'm still not sure I like the call, but well, it's heads I win, tails you lose. So they will continue to just apply this pressure, and it looks like they're going to get the top wave shoving, split pushing with the Lucian once again.
1-1-3.
Lichbane Lulu.
1-1-3. They know they can siege up this bot tower. There's no tower actually here. They know it's an inhib. Here comes Kha'Zix though. They're going to try to jump in. He gets absolutely obliterated though. So does Lola. She's going to go down in the end. Mega Inferno Bomb hits onto Ghost 1. They do take out Kha'Zix in the end. They're trying to jump on the Mia. It's a good Zhonya's. But all the while, Lucian is in this top lane. It's a great shockwave actually. He might be able to trade back some decent damage. Ignite might be able to take down. No, it won't. They do lose an inhibitor turret though in the end. This is 100% worth. They lose an inhibitor as well. They stalled it out long enough. Vi and Lucian able to get that one going for them. Again, good play there from eSuba.
Yep, perfectly good play by them. I really... And Faculty were getting caught between a rock and a hard place there. They knew they didn't have a lot of options, so they took the higher risk option, which potentially could have rewarded them if they'd been able to execute that fight just a little bit quicker. Maybe kill Zyra before she got off the Stranglethorns. Then perhaps they could have rotated up there, saved that top tower. As it is, though, still works against them. The gold continues to slide down the hill. It's way, way too difficult now. And now, of course, there's even the map pressure disadvantage. Now they've got to defend the bottom inhib while the top inhib is suffering under wave after wave of super minions. It's so hard. I channel your inner SKT1S, but I really don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, it's very, very rare that we see teams come back from 2 inhibitor turrets down. We'll be trying to siege up for this. Actually, they're probably going to go for Dragon, push out the bot lane and go for Dragon as well, just to keep that gold in their favor. It's 8-1 in turrets, 16-9 in kills, and a roughly about a 15,000, just over 15,000 gold lead in favor of eSuba. As we do start to see full item builds coming out for Lucian and Oriana. And I quite like the Leandri's Torment build because it gives you a lot of pen for the damage that you already have. It gives you so much more kind of added penetration, and it's just such a good late game kind of pickup as well. Does leave her kind of exposed though. She has only got the Zanyas, but again, she's played so well this series. 5-1, she's doing exceptionally well. They are going to be able to take this inhibitor. Nothing they can do though. They're going to be able to back away, push down this mid lane. There's not really a lot that the faculty can do.
Yep. Just the situation just escalates and escalates, and they cannot do anything to slow it down at this point. So, again, it looks like we are going to be seeing a relatively difficult time for the defending team. Haven't seen many comebacks yet.
No. I'm not a huge fan of Kha'Zix finishing off his Maw of Magmortius. It's fine. Like, the Hex Drinker active is fine as itself, and I think it's something you should upgrade last because he needs something else. I think you should have went with maybe a Ravenous, or, you know, finished off his Spectral Cow into a Banshee, something like that. I just don't think the Maw of Magmortius was the best choice to finish off.
It really depends. There is a lot of magic damage that he's going up against. So you can see he's heavily prioritized the resistances there. He's got the Spectre's Cowl and he's got the Maw of Malmortius. In terms of what he is planning to do in a team fight, I think it actually does make a bit of sense, because most likely he's going to be not necessarily sharing the brunt of it completely with Prombe, but he's going to be taking some magic damage if he wants to be diving onto the backline, which is realistically the only thing he can do. As a result, having a very high prioritization of magic damage and going low on HP and trying to stealth out and take advantage of the AD passive on the Maw of Malmortius is most likely the reasoning behind his choice there. But yeah, it's not going to be easy for him, and he's got to get there before the tower goes down.
Yeah, it's not looking very likely at all that anyone from in faculty can deal with. Pretty much, they have to send 2 or 3 to deal with anybody, as we do see Vi in this bot lane. She is starting to push this out. She's already on the inhibitor. It's respawning now in a second in the top lane, as Lulu is already there. We look to see now, they're so split right now. They're going to be able to jump onto this top or this mid lane. That's going to be another inhibitor turret going down. They may just want to jump onto this. Not quite though. And here comes Maokai's desperation play. That's a good Mega Inferno Bomb though. They are trying to drop on the Prawn Bear. They may get Lula. It's a nice shockwave though, only onto Obvious. They will be able to get him down though. They will trade 1 for 1, but they still lost the turret. And for the Lichbane Lulu, she will be able to take down this inhibitor just as quick.
I'm not sure eSuba needs to stay here, though. This is a little bit more risky than it needs to be.
Oh, yes, they use it there. No, Ziggs actually went down now, as we do see Gornagel going absolutely ham in the background. Maokai went in, his team was not with him. Lula is just wandering around. They are going to be able to take down all 3 inhibitors. I don't even think they need to. Worst ADC West is going to be able to pick up a nice kill. He's going to get taken down by the Acantian Surprise. No, he won't actually. He's going to flash away to deny that. It's going to be the inhibitor, or Nexus turret's going down. It's going to be the Nexus, and that is going to be the game going to eSuba Gaming. GG, well played.
Once again, and faculty really didn't show up. I am honestly a little bit surprised. I expected better of them, and hope they will go away and try and look back on these games and see what they can do to improve in the future, because they are going away. They are out of the tournament, dropping out of the lower bracket. eSuba moves on once again to the lower bracket semi-finals at that point.
Yes, I think that's what it's called.
That is roughly what it's called. It's certainly where it should be.
Yeah, it's
if that is what it is.
Suba go through. They will face the winner of one of the tomorrow's games, which is Spuddington versus Ninjas in Pajamas, and they will face off each other to go against the loser of H2K versus SK Prime. So we still have a few games to go. We're definitely going to be sitting in the loser bracket end of things more so, but it's definitely starting to take shape.
Yeah, we've got more action to bring you, but that is it from us for today. So if you have enjoyed the cast today, feel free to check out FACEIT.com. There are various things at the bottom of the screen that you can see right now. FACEIT is a service, by the way, in case you didn't know, that enables you to search for groups and players to match your skill level in a way that is separate from the client, but enables you to also compete for fabulous prizes with the players of your skill level. So Bronze League for bronze players. Otherwise, feel free to check out TeamSpeak and Overwolf, both powering the tournament today. If you've enjoyed my casting, feel free to follow me at Spuddington on Twitter and yourself at LolBloodPenguin.
Yep.
So I think with that, we're just going to call it a close for today, and we hope to see you tomorrow.